Hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here from Look for Warriors, and I just want to take you through a really quick SkillShare review. A course that I've just completed. I will just do digital marketing courses for fun because I enjoy them. And I've been in digital marketing for 25 years, so I understand digital marketing, and it's so important right now. It is so important right now. Now, one of the most important aspects of digital marketing is Facebook. It just is. It used to be Google Ads. In my mind now, Google Ads is too expensive per click for most people. It's difficult to make a profit out of unless you have a really good back end, meaning that your first page that people come to is maybe just a lead capture or a very low cost product, and on the back end you make all your money. So McDonald's, for example, have a model where they do a lot of advertising to get someone to come in and buy a burger. They upsell you to Coke and chips or to the meal, and then they hope you come back with your family. So on the returning visits, they don't spend the marketing costs on you. They just spend it the first time, so it means they can spend more the first time. So if that's the case, if you have that kind of model where you make a lot of money, the customer lifetime value is really high, then Google Ads might be okay, but just know it's a lot of upfront costs. Now, Facebook, in my mind today, 2020, and probably 2021, probably 2022, Facebook is the only place to advertise in my mind. I'm sorry, maybe YouTube a little bit. I don't know, maybe some other places. I wouldn't touch banner advertising. I just wouldn't touch, except for very specific cases, I wouldn't touch Google Ads right now. Unless the whole system was tiled from start to finish, that you could see where you're going to make a profit from it. But in general, just for general advertising, like let's get the name out there, I wouldn't touch Google AdWords. Now, Facebook is a different situation. Number one, Facebook right now is relatively cheap. You can spend $5 or €5 a day on Facebook. Really important. Initially, now you may want to scale that up once you find that what you're running is profitable. And it's all, again, about testing. You need to test. So you might run 20 different €5, $5 a day ads, see what's working and scale that one up. Now, getting back to what we're here to talk about. SkillShare course, Facebook advertising 2020. From Facebook expert Azmat. Now, a couple of things. I'll give you the headline right up front. Yes, this course is great. He knows what he's talking about. He's smart, very clear. Now, the one thing you'll find about this course is that he sounds a little bit unsure of himself. So he'll say, well, I'm going to kind of show you this thing, or he'll say a lot of ums and ahs. And because of that, he sounds unsure of himself. And because of that, some people who are not familiar with digital marketing or Facebook advertising might not have a lot of confidence in what he's saying. But I can tell you from someone who has 25 years experience in digital marketing, he knows what he's talking about. He's good. It shows all the important aspects. So now this is just about Facebook advertising. It's not about general Facebook posting or Instagram posting. It's just about Facebook advertising. So if you're doing Facebook advertising, you probably want to also begin with some Facebook posting, so you have some sort of presence on there. Now, maybe you're doing it already, but I would suggest daily Facebook and Instagram posting. Super important. Now, Facebook advertising. So he's talking specifically about Facebook advertising. Now, he covers all the important aspects. He covers the Facebook pixel. He covers setting up the Facebook account. You set up the Facebook ads account, business.facebook.com, getting in there, really important. He covers profitable Facebook campaigns, and that's really important. You need to know how to set up profitable Facebook campaigns. What is a profitable ad? Which is really important. He covers the proper plugins to put into your browser, whether it's Chrome or Brave. If it's Microsoft, you got to reevaluate your browser choices. But if it's Chrome or Brave, he's going to cover the proper plugins to put into the browser so you know what you're doing. He covers all the real good tools that you need. Now, I'm not going to give you those tools because if you want the tools, do the course. So he covers all the tools that you need, and covers all the audience, like lookalike audiences and custom audiences, and installing the Facebook pixel. Super important. Correct installation of Facebook pixel, super important, so you know what's going on your website. Now, the great thing about Facebook right now is that they have a lot of information. They have demographic information that would have been, when I started out in marketing, that would have been an absolute dream come true. We couldn't have imagined that we could have targeted women between 30 and 40 who like Vogue, or who like makeup, or who are interested in specific magazines, or are interested in specific public figures. Or we couldn't have imagined that we could find men between the age of 25 and 30 who are interested in Tony Robbins. It would have been absolutely, like, that would have been like, if you had asked me that 20 years ago, I said, that's not, how do you get that? That's impossible. There's no way you can get that. Now, there are data privacy issues. I personally believe that as far as advertising is concerned, isn't it better to see advertising that's more, I want to see advertising that's more that's more targeted to me, rather than just general advertising that I have no interest in. But that's an open question where that's not really for me just to say whether data privacy is just there. But Facebook's doing a lot of work on that, improving the data privacy, doing a lot of work on that right now. But anyway, we're talking about this course, not about data privacy right now. And the targeting is absolutely unbelievable. Like the fact that you can get that information is just unbelievable. Now, Facebook advertising, I can tell you, is today, and probably 2021, probably 2022, is depending on what regulations come out of Facebook over the next few years, is the most effective advertising that you can do anywhere, online or offline right now. And if you want to be useful to a company, you want to learn something useful, it's Facebook advertising. Well, Facebook Marketplace and Facebook advertising, and obviously there's other useful things like Amazon, learning Amazon, inside out, and also eBay and places like that. Obviously there's important things in there, but the number one most important thing is Facebook advertising in my mind. And this course by Asmat, I hope I'm saying that name correctly, apologies if I'm not saying it correctly, will give you a good, is this course perfect? No, you need multiple courses in order to understand Facebook advertising really, really well. But is this course a good foundation? This is a great foundation, this course. It's a great foundation. Now, this is completely useless if you don't listen to this multiple times, take notes, put notes in your Evernote, and do what he's saying you do. Now, even if you have to set up just a test Facebook page, and if you have to set up a test website, you've got to do what he's saying you do. If you just listen to this like you think this is YouTube, or you think this is Netflix, then you're wasting your time. Just don't do it. Just don't do it in that case. But if you listen to it multiple times, you take notes on the second time, and on the third time you actually do what he's telling you to do. So you install a Facebook pixel, you set up a WordPress website, you put the code in the header, you set up lookalike audiences. If you do all that, and go in when he's talking about MailChimp and go in and open up those applications, set up a test. I think almost all those applications have the 30-day trial. Set up a trial account so you understand it. If you do what he's telling you to do, then this is going to be useful. And this is not the only course to do. You need to do multiple courses. He doesn't have everything in this course, and I wouldn't expect him to. You need to do multiple courses. The other thing about the multiple courses is you get different perspectives. So you're going to get his perspective, but there's other great people at SkillShare as well talking about Facebook advertising. Get their perspective as well. Put it all together and intermingle that with your own perspective. And you'll do really, really well. What I'm going to say is that if you did this course properly, see it, do it, teach it the correct way, and do another 1 or 2 courses in SkillShare. Now, it's going to cost you either nothing if it's your first month, because the first month is free, or I don't know what SkillShare is, like €15 or dollars a month, something like that. It's going to cost you basically nothing. If you do 3 of those courses, you don't have to do the guru Facebook ads courses that cost 3 or 4 grand. You don't need to do them. Do 3 or 4 courses in Skillshare, but do them properly. Do them properly, take the notes. You'll get much more out of it. You'll get much more out of it. And set up, actually do it at the end. Set up the Facebook account, set up the Facebook business account, set up the ads manager, set up your website. Do all that, even if it's just a blank one just for practice. You've got to do the exercises or you're completely wasting your time. So this is a great course. Do this course. I'm going to link it to it in the description box. Or just go out to Skillshare and search for Facebook Advertising 2020. The guy's name is Asmat. It's been Alan here from Look for Warriors. Do me a favor. I want you to subscribe to this channel. I'm getting more and more subscriptions now, and I'm like, woo, more subscriptions. So I love that. So you do me a favor and make my day and subscribe to this channel.